بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Beloved brothers and sisters in Islam, Allah Jalla wa Ala has created every single one of us, and we find throughout history, yes, everybody is born equal generally. However, you find that there are those who excel and there are those who are in the middle, and then there are those who don't. Obviously, the tawfiq is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This success that is given is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At the same time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not oppress anybody. So you find that the one who takes by the means, the one who works hard, the one who strives, generally Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants him, because number one, Allah does not oppress anybody. You put in effort, bi'idhnillah, Allah will grant you. Also, the way the world works, the way Allah has designed the world is you attain results by going through certain means. Obviously, there are many different means and many different ways to become better, many different ways to excel. Inshallah, today I want to touch on one extremely important way of getting ahead, reaching success in whichever field you want much faster, and that is by benefiting from others who are better than you or others who are experts in their fields. And you find that this is a theme throughout the Quran and throughout the Sunnah. It's recorded in Sahih al-Bukhari that when the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam and Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu wanted to migrate, they wanted to leave Mecca and go to Medina. One of the things they did was they hired a person who was a non-Muslim. His name was Abdullah ibn Urayqid. Why did they hire him? It's mentioned in the hadith. He was an expert when it came to guiding people on the way. That was, in our terms today, your human GPS. Long ago, when people wanted to travel hundreds of kilometers, it's very easy to lose the way. In fact, today when you're traveling with a car and you've got signboards everywhere, it's still possible to lose the way. So Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu and the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam actually hired a non-Muslim who was an expert in his field in order to take them on one of the most dangerous, if not the most dangerous journey that they undertook. What does this show us? This shows us that they, being the best of creation, the best of Muslims at the time, they were in need of reaching a certain destination, and they didn't have the expertise or they didn't have the knowledge. They were unsure, so they went to somebody who knew. Simple. When it comes to us today, you want to become a hafiz, you want to become an alim, you want to get into business, you want to do well in your university. Why don't we look at those who've already succeeded in those fields and benefit from them? If it means you need to hire somebody and you've got the resources, then do it. Also, with the world we live in today, there is so many different resources which are free. So benefit from those who are experts in their fields, as we see in this hadith from the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam. At times you find a person may be of a high position in society, or they may be respected. However, there's a certain skill, certain piece of knowledge, something that they don't know, and it requires them to learn from somebody else who may be not on the same level as them in society. And you find generally people feel that they are too big, they become arrogant, they don't want to benefit from those who they may seem as less than them. Look at a Nabi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Musa alayhi salam. We've mentioned the story before and we've touched on it from different angles. Inshallah, today we'll take a new angle. Musa alayhi salam, asked by his people, who is the most knowledgeable? And he replies, I am. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reprimands him and he tells him that there is a servant of mine, Khidr alayhi salam, or Khadir as others say, who is more knowledgeable. He has certain knowledge, O Musa, that you do not have. And Musa alayhi salam, what does he do? Obviously he's a Nabi. He is one of the best of creation. He humbles himself. He goes on a long journey. They go together, him and Yusha ibn Nun. What are they going for? They're going to benefit from somebody who has knowledge that they don't have. What do we learn from this? At times you need to humble yourself. You need to go to somebody who may not be on the same level as you in society or counted as being on the same level as you, but you need to humble yourself, even if it means going out, making that phone call, going to them, but benefit from them. This is Musa alayhi salam, a Nabi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, doing this. At times, you may find, in fact, as a Muslim, you are ordered to benefit from anywhere you find benefit from. And at times this benefit may not be from human beings. It may be from animals. Another Nabi, Sulaiman alayhi salam, Allah Jalla wa ala gave him kingdom that nobody else will ever have. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put the winds under his control. The jinn were under his control. He had the largest army. Yet there was a bird, the hudhud. Sulaiman alayhi salam, addressing his army one day, he sees that hudhud is not there. And he asks, where is this hudhud? It's a small bird. And you find that if you look in where we live, just Google it, you will see what type of bird it is. It's generally in our area. So Sulaiman alayhi salam, a king and a Nabi, is missing this bird. And he calls in his army, asking, where is this bird? And this bird is not present. And Sulaiman alayhi salam says, this bird better come, or I will punish it. Eventually hudhud arrives. What does he tell Sulaiman alayhi salam? He tells Sulaiman alayhi salam that I have some knowledge that you do not have. This bird is telling a Nabi that I have some knowledge that you do not have. What knowledge did this hudhud have? It flew to a place called Saba and it found that the people were engaged in shirk. So hudhud informs Sulaiman alayhi salam about them, and Sulaiman alayhi salam takes action, and we find there is writing between the two parties, and eventually they come and accept the message. The point is, a Nabi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala benefited from what? Benefited from an animal. When it comes to Habil and Qabil, the children of Adam alayhi salam, after Qabil kills Habil, he doesn't know what to do with the body of his brother. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends an animal, a crow, to show him how to bury his brother. Again, we as human beings, we are benefiting from what? We are benefiting from an animal. At times what happens, you find that somebody may have the knowledge, they may know how to do certain things, but there are those who know how to do certain things much better than them. And here again, you benefit from that person who may be better than you. And this, again, we find it in the stories of the Anbiya alayhimus salatu wassalam. Musa alayhi salam, when Allah Jalla wa ala is sending him to Fir'aun, a tyrant, what does Musa alayhi salam say? He tells Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَأَخِي هَارُونُ هُوَ أَفْصَحُ مِنِّي لِسَانًا. My brother Harun, he's more eloquent than me. He speaks better than me. Musa alayhi salam is able to speak. The message has been given to him. But he's telling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, my brother has a skill. He's better than me in the skill which is speaking. So send him with me. Look at how Musa alayhi salam is benefiting from his brother who was better than him in this particular skill. At times you may give your opinion and a better opinion comes up. This happened with the Anbiya alayhi salatu wassalam. Allah Jalla wa ala mentions how Dawood alayhi salam, who was a king, his son Sulaiman alayhi salam was also a king. They were given kingdom and wealth and prophethood. One day there was a case where they were judging. Some people came to them for judgment. Dawood alayhi salam gave a judgment. Then they went to Sulaiman alayhi salam. Allah says, فَفَهَّمْنَاهَا Sulaiman. We gave more wisdom and more understanding in this mas'ala to Sulaiman alayhi salam. Sulaiman alayhi salam, who is the son, he gives a ruling which is different to his father, and Allah Jalla wa ala mentions that the ruling of Sulaiman alayhi salam was better, even though وَكُلًّا آتَيْنَا حُكْمًا وَعِلْمًا. Both of them were given knowledge and rulership, kingdom. So look at how, again, we find a knowledgeable person, but in this particular thing, somebody else who is a little bit more knowledgeable. So you benefit from that person. It's recorded in Sahih Muslim that one day the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was walking in Medina. And as we know, Medina is where a lot of dates grow. He saw the people of the Ansar on the date trees. What were they doing? They were pollinating or fertilizing the trees. So you've got the male of the palm tree and the female. And for those who know dates, it's a process in order to fertilize them so you get good dates. You have to tie the male to the female, they tie the branches together, etc. It's quite a tedious and tiring process. So the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, obviously he is from Mecca, there are no dates. So he tells the people who are around him that I don't think that this will help, i.e. whether they do it or they don't do it, the dates will come. So what happens? When it's time to harvest the dates for that particular year, the people after hearing this, obviously they stop doing this talqih or ta'bir, where it's fertilizing the trees. So when the harvest came, the dates were not good that year. So the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked them, how come the dates are not good this year? And they mentioned that, O Messenger of Allah, you had said that they shouldn't be, or even if they don't pollinate the trees, the dates will come. So the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam replies to them, he is the best of creation. There's many different riwayat. One of the things he says, I am a human being. When it comes to the religion, when it comes to the Quran, when it comes to the Sunnah, obviously I speak, and there is no mistake in that, because that's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When it comes to worldly matters, you are more knowledgeable in your worldly matters. This was my personal opinion. So look at how the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the best of creation, when it came to this worldly matter, he is literally telling them that, you know what, in one of the riwayat, he says, you are more knowledgeable when it comes to this worldly matter. My beloved brothers and sisters in Islam, those who are old, those who are young, mashallah, everybody is aspiring to be the best in whatever they do, to excel in whatever they do. Yes, tawfiq is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as we mentioned, but one of the fastest and the quickest ways in order for you to climb up that ladder is to benefit from all the different people in your field, the different experts, your parents, those around you, those who have already been through that journey. Benefit from them. You'll find your learning span, the time you take to learn will be much shorter, and you'll benefit things much quicker than if you had to go it alone. And this, as we mentioned, we take from the Quran, we take from the Hadith, we take from the stories of the Anbiya alayhimus salatu wassalam. For those few words, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us goodness, to make us from those who benefit from wherever there is benefit. It's recorded in a Hadith, even though the Hadith, some of the scholars mention, is weak, however its meaning is correct. It's mentioned that the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, Al-hikmatu dallatul mu'min. Hikmah is a piece of wisdom, any benefit. Dallah is when you lose something, you're in search of it. The Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam literally is saying that any piece of benefit is like something that is missing for the believer, i.e. he goes out in search of any piece of benefit. Wherever he finds it, he takes it from. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us goodness and beneficial knowledge. Ameen. Wa sallallahu wa sallama wa baraka ala nabiyyina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.